I was actually making another video when I picked this guitar up today, and it was kind of, well, you'll see the video at some other point, but I was going through a bunch of different guitars, including like a Strat, a Les Paul, a Telecaster, and then I picked this one up out of the case in the middle of it. This is the PRS CE24 sandblasted that PRS kindly, their artist relations person, asked me, you know, would I check out, or would I want to check out this guitar? And I said, yeah, why not? I think it's a very unique looking guitar, and I really dig this finish. As I said in the previous video that I did with it, it's not immediately obvious, like the depth to this sandblasting thing. So it's not just like a surface level thing. Like there are big, sort of like whiskey barrel sort of vibe to this. If you've seen Andy Wood's Sir Tellys, that's kind of the impression that I get, that those are kind of like. But yeah, I picked it up out of the case, and you know, it was up against a variety of guitars: a Gibson Les Paul Standard, a K-Line Strat Springfield, you know, so that's a boutique sort of nearly $3,000 type guitar. Also a Fender Mexican Player, but it felt right at home, or better than the Fender Player for sure. I thought, even though this is not exactly the kind of guitar that I would necessarily spec. That's one thing that I wouldn't necessarily go for in general, and it's got a coil tap as well, and the neck is maybe a little bit slimmer than what I would generally go for, but it's actually an incredible, I think, example of a really good guitar for the money. And I think the PRS SE stuff, I thought it was kind of creeping up in price in a little bit of a worrying way, but actually they're actually very reasonably priced. Sort of questions that I would have around a guitar like this would be like, how does it weigh? And if you were to look on Peach Guitar's website, they actually weigh all of these individually. They've got one pretty striking looking one up there at the moment, and it's like 7 pounds and 8 ounces. It's a swamp ash body. I think looks incredible, but more importantly, these are 8515 pickups with the S, because obviously they're import ones. They end up coming out a little bit hotter than the specs might suggest. People have measured them online. It seems that they're around the 7.75 to 8 range, but they actually do come up quite hot in the DAW. That's with the coil tap on. So you might want to, if you're into more kind of vintagey kind of vibes, lower these a bit potentially. That's one thing that I want to know about. How's the tuning stability? So I just think it's a level of quality that when I've played sort of a bunch of other guitars, really, they don't seem to quite get there at this kind of price range. The PRS DGT as well seems to get there for me, and it's kind of like one of those things where actually these are PRS guitars that do feel really respectable to play. I think there are some people that kind of think of the PRS SE as like a cheap knockoff version of the PRS. I don't really think it is that. I think it's a really respectable choice of guitars. You know, feel free to chime in with any bad experiences you've had, if you've had them, but particularly for me, if I was going to be buying a PRS, I think knowing that Peach actually open every box and weigh these, that would be a strong reason to buy from Peach, as well as they're actually going to photograph all of the individual tops, which of course on an instrument like this would be an important factor, because they're all going to be very, very different. So you could pick one that you actually like from there. Sorry, Nemo's going wild. So that's, yeah, kind of that. As I say, I think the pickups are potentially going to be a little bit on the hotter side for some people. I really love the coil taps on PRS guitars in general. The one fault that I found with the guitar is that this volume knob is a little bit loose, so I need to go in there and tighten that up. I did say this came from PRS directly, the PRS Europe guys, but actually Jay Palmer, who's also on YouTube, did a great video with it before me. So if you want to hear what someone else sounds like playing this guitar, go check out Jay's video. And yeah, I did the first video in a bit of a rush, so I didn't give him a proper shout out, but yeah, go check that out. But I think a really comfortable neck and really smooth feeling, no finishing flaws whatsoever. It's a really impressive instrument in my opinion. Nice and lightweight, not any of this kind of heavy stuff that you see these days. It's a good vibe. Right, I'll stop there because the dog's going wild. Catch you in another video soon. Nemo, stop. I was using the Marshall 2203 More preset if you want to check that out. Cheers.